The elegant restaurant in New York City was bustling with the usual chatter of high-profile diners and the clinking of cutlery. Melania Trump, dressed in a modest yet sophisticated outfit, entered with her teenage son, Barron, hoping for a quiet meal together. They had chosen this restaurant for its reputation for exquisite cuisine and privacy, but tonight would be anything but peaceful. As they were escorted to their reserved table, a hushed murmur rippled through the room. Some recognized her immediately, and whispers of, "That's Melania Trump," filled the air. However, not everyone was impressed. Among the staff, one particular waiter rolled his eyes and muttered, "Just great, another Trump drama." The atmosphere shifted when the waiter approached their table. His tone was sharp and devoid of courtesy. "I'm sorry, but there's been a mistake. We don't have a table for you anymore. You'll have to leave," he said, crossing his arms. Melania's face flushed with embarrassment. "There must be some misunderstanding. We had a reservation," she replied calmly, though the humiliation was clear in her voice. "I don't care who you are," the waiter shot back loudly, drawing the attention of the entire restaurant. "We don't serve people like you here." Barron, visibly upset, looked at his mother for guidance. Melania, ever composed, stood up, holding her son's hand. "We'll leave," she said firmly, her voice trembling just slightly. The room fell silent as mother and son walked out, heads held high despite the blatant disrespect. As they reached their car, Melania tried to comfort her son. "Barron, some people judge before they know the truth. Don't let it make you bitter." But inside, Melania was fuming. This wasn't just about politics or opinions. It was about dignity. Little did the restaurant staff know that this incident would soon take an extraordinary turn. 10 minutes later, a black SUV pulled up in front of the restaurant. The door opened and out stepped Donald Trump, his iconic presence unmistakable. His face was stern, and his stride was purposeful. He wasn't there for a meal, he was there to make a statement. Donald Trump entered the restaurant with an air of authority that made heads turn instantly. The room, filled with chatter just moments ago, fell eerily silent. All eyes were on him as he scanned the crowd, his expression unreadable. The manager hurried to greet him, a forced smile plastered on his face. "Mr. Trump, what an unexpected surprise. How can we assist you?" he stammered, clearly uneasy. Donald didn't mince words. "I believe my wife and son were just here. I'd like to know why they were treated with such disrespect," he said, his voice calm but laced with an undeniable edge. The waiter who had insulted Melania and Barron stood frozen a few feet away. His earlier bravado was gone, replaced by a nervous fidgeting as he avoided Trump's piercing gaze. "Sir, there must have been some misunderstanding," the manager said quickly, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. "We would never—" "There was no misunderstanding," Trump interrupted. "I was informed by my wife exactly what happened. Your staff humiliated her and my son, and now I want answers." The waiter finally spoke, his voice trembling. "I didn't mean any harm. I just—" Trump raised a hand to silence him. "You didn't mean harm? You insulted a mother and her child in front of a full restaurant. Do you think that's acceptable behavior?" The tension in the room was palpable. Some diners shifted uncomfortably in their seats, while others watched the unfolding drama with morbid curiosity. Donald continued, his voice growing firmer. "I don't care about your opinions or politics, but when you cross the line and disrespect my family, you're going to face the consequences." The manager attempted to salvage the situation. "Mr. Trump, please allow us to make amends. Your next meal here will be on the house." Trump cut him off, a smirk forming on his face. "I'm not interested in your meal. I'm interested in integrity, something this establishment clearly lacks. But don't worry, I have an idea." He turned to the stunned patrons, his voice now addressing the entire room. "Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your meal tonight. This restaurant is about to change ownership." The collective gasp was audible, and whispers spread like wildfire. No one knew if he was serious, but with Trump, anything was possible. The waiter's face turned pale, and the manager looked as though he might faint. Trump didn't wait for their reactions. He pulled out his phone, made a call, and simply said, "Get my legal team on this place. I want it done by tomorrow morning." The message was clear. This wasn't just a response, it was a reckoning. By the next morning, news of the incident had gone viral. Headlines scream variations of the same story. Donald Trump buys restaurant after wife and son insulted. Social media was ablaze with reactions. Some applauded his actions, while others debated whether he had gone too far. Inside the restaurant, the atmosphere was tense. The staff had gathered in the main dining area, awaiting a meeting they'd been instructed to attend. No one knew what to expect, but the looming presence of Trump's legal team outside the door left little room for doubt. Major changes were coming. The manager stood nervously near the entrance, his once confident demeanor reduced to shambles. The waiter who had caused the uproar sat in a corner, avoiding eye contact with everyone. The doors opened and Trump walked in, accompanied by a small entourage. His face was calm but resolute. He took his place at the center of the room, letting the silence settle before speaking. "Let me make something clear," Trump began, his voice carrying authority. "This isn't about me or my family. It's about how people are treated, whether they're a billionaire, a single mother, or a struggling worker. No one deserves to be humiliated." He turned to the manager. "I've officially acquired this restaurant. Effective immediately, you're no longer in charge." The manager's face turned white as he stammered. "Mr. Trump, please, Trump waved him off. "Save it. Your leadership allowed this kind of behavior. You're done." The rest of the staff exchanged uneasy glances, unsure of their fate. Trump continued, his tone softening slightly. "For the rest of you, I'm not here to punish anyone unnecessarily, but there will be changes, starting today. If you're willing to work hard and treat people with respect, you'll have a place here. If not, you're free to leave." He finally turned to the waiter, whose hands were trembling. "You're the reason we're all here right now," Trump said, his gaze unwavering. "What you did was wrong, and I could fire you on the spot. But I believe in second chances. So here's what I'm going to do." The room held its collective breath. "You're going to stay on staff," Trump said, surprising everyone, especially the waiter. "But you'll start at the bottom. Dishwashing, cleaning, whatever it takes to rebuild trust. You'll earn your way back, and if you prove yourself, maybe you'll even thank me one day." The waiter nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. "Thank you, sir. I won't let you down." Trump nodded and then addressed the room. "This place isn't just going to be another restaurant. It's going to stand for something: hard work, respect, and dignity. We'll serve everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from. And I'll be keeping a close eye on it." With that, he turned to leave, pausing only to say, "Now let's get to work." The staff exchanged looks of cautious optimism. What had started as a humiliation was now shaping into a story of redemption and transformation. True to his word, Donald Trump didn't just buy the restaurant, he transformed it. Within days, construction crews were on site, remodeling the outdated space into something extraordinary. The dull beige walls were replaced with sleek, modern decor, and a new sign outside read, "The People's Table, a Trump initiative." Trump's team worked tirelessly to rebrand the restaurant, ensuring it reflected his vision. He introduced a program where meals were subsidized for struggling families, veterans, and the homeless. It wasn't just about serving food anymore. It was about creating a space where everyone felt valued. Inside, the changes were just as dramatic. Trump personally oversaw the hiring of a new management team. Among them was a single mother who had been laid off from her previous job and a retired veteran who had struggled to find work. Both were given prominent roles, setting the tone for the new direction of the restaurant. As for the waiter, he was true to his word. He started from the bottom, scrubbing dishes and mopping floors. It wasn't easy, but Trump's second chance had given him a renewed sense of purpose. Over time, he began earning the respect of his colleagues, proving that he was more than his mistake. The buzz around the restaurant grew, and it became a symbol of hope in the community. Families flocked to dine, not just for the food, but for the message it represented. Trump occasionally visited, checking on the staff and interacting with customers. His presence always drew attention, but he seemed more focused on ensuring the restaurant lived up to its mission. One day, Melania and Barron made a quiet visit. They were greeted warmly by the staff, who had come to see them as the catalysts for this transformation. The waiter who had insulted them nervously approached their table, offering a heartfelt apology. Melania accepted it graciously, her kindness leaving him visibly moved. The restaurant's reputation soared, attracting media attention and becoming a case study in redemption and leadership. Trump, in his characteristic style, summed it up during an interview. It's not about revenge, it's about making things better. Sometimes people just need a little guidance to turn their lives around. The day of the grand reopening was nothing short of spectacular. A red carpet stretched across the entrance, and a diverse crowd gathered outside, buzzing with excitement. Families, local leaders, and members of the press had all come to witness the unveiling of the People's Table. Donald Trump arrived with Melania and Barron by his side, their presence electrifying the atmosphere. Trump took the stage that had been set up in front of the restaurant, speaking into a microphone with his usual charisma. "This isn't just a restaurant," he began, his voice strong and confident. "This is a symbol, a reminder that no matter where you come from, respect and kindness can transform lives. Today, we're not just reopening a business. We're opening a door for everyone who's ever been overlooked or underestimated." The crowd erupted in applause, cheering as Trump cut the ceremonial ribbon. Cameras flashed, capturing the moment as the doors were opened to the public. Inside, the restaurant was stunning. Crystal chandeliers illuminated the room, and the smell of freshly prepared gourmet dishes filled the air. The first family sat at a table near the entrance, where they were soon joined by the single mother and the retired veteran who had been hired as managers. Trump made it a point to highlight their stories during the media interviews, emphasizing the importance of giving people opportunities. Meanwhile, the former waiter who had caused the initial incident was hard at work in the kitchen. As part of his redemption arc, he had been tasked with helping prepare meals for the grand opening. It was a humbling experience, but one that made him appreciate the value of second chances even more. One of the most heartwarming moments of the day came when a homeless family was invited to dine free of charge. Trump personally greeted them, ensuring they felt welcome. "This is what it's all about," he said to the reporters nearby. "Making a difference, one meal at a time." The event was a resounding success. Customers left with full stomachs and hearts, many sharing their experiences on social media. The hashtag number sign, the People's Table, trended for days, with people praising Trump's initiative and the positive message it sent. As the day came to an end, Trump stood outside the restaurant, watching the bustling crowd. Melania joined him, placing a hand on his arm. "You've done something incredible here," she said softly. He smiled, nodding. "It's not just about me, it's about all of us. Sometimes you have to take a bad situation and turn it into something magical." With that, they walked back inside, leaving behind a restaurant that had become a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of transformation.